servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve, Ramona, and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast.
BrainShare Business Mentors proudly presents BrainShare.us, the ultimate business education platform, delivering the proven systems, processes, tools, and knowledge that empower you to build the business of your dreams. With 13 high-powered courses encompassing over 240 lessons accessed online on your schedule. Running a business is the hardest thing you'll ever do. We've helped thousands of business owners gain the leadership, communication, and business skills needed to build the business of their dreams. We can help you. Choose your learning path. Scuba Squad is the premier membership program for today's business leaders with access to all BrainShare material and double our money-back guarantee. BrainShare Basics, the ultimate business framework course, a hard-hitting 13-week program to lay the necessary foundation to build the business of your dreams. Or take individual courses as you need them. Every course has dozens of lessons, with video, practical exercises, precise documentation, and the opportunity for direct feedback from a BrainShare mentor. All programs have our exclusive 30-day money-back guarantee. No questions asked, don't wait. Choose your path and start today.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. Doing business in life with a purpose, serving others and achieving success. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. We created this show for you because we want everyone to be motivated, inspired, and educated to learn how to do business, but for me, more important, live life to make an impact in the world. Could be small, could be big. Let's make an impact every day. So I want you to think about while you listen to my incredible guest, how will you serve today, and what impact will you create today with that service? My guest today is blowing me away. In 5 minutes, I've talked to him and just met him. I've gone through his platform program and it nailed me. And we're going to go over it a little bit today, but he's really impacting you as a person, who you are, how you present that to other people. And let's just dive into it. Dr. Gary Sanchez, welcome to the show.
Awesome, Steve. Thank you. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be fun.
WHY.os, we talked about it in the green room. What the heck is it? I'm learning as you go.
So WHY.os. So for those of you that can't see the screen, it's WHY, right? What's your why.os. So that's your why operating system. So it's your why, your how, and your what. Knowing your why is super valuable, but that's only the first step. When you add when you know your why, you get to see yourself in one dimension from the perspective of your why. But when you add your how to that, how you do what you do, you get to see yourself in two dimensions. But even more powerful is when you know your why, your how, and your what, which is what we call your WHY.os or why operating system. So that tells us why you do, what your motivation is, how you bring your why to life, what your process is, and then ultimately what it is you bring or what you deliver. So it's the deliverable. So it's motivation, process, and deliverable. I developed the software. Discovering just your why used to be virtually impossible, right? People talk about it forever, but no one ever really gets to it. That used to be the hard thing. Well, with the software that you took, it's your WHY.os discovery. It found your why, how, and what in about 8 minutes, and it's super accurate, and it gives you the clarity to be able to say it because it creates your message for you. Maybe we ought to start there. So, Steve, do you happen to have that page up on your screen anywhere?
I could pull it up. Yeah, absolutely.
Because this will be on the results page. So we'll let you read out loud your simple WHY.os. See where it says simple WHY.os? Because it created Steve's message. And then we'll dive into it. And all of you that are listening, You can do this same thing. If you've ever wondered what your why is, if you've ever seen the TED Talk about why, if you've ever read the book Start With Why and said, man, I have a great what, but I don't know my why, then you are going to love today's episode, because the software that I developed finds that for you so that then you can actually use it, right? That concept of why is a great concept, but if you don't know your why, it doesn't have any value to you. Now it really will. Were you able to pull it up?
Yes. Let me ask you while I'm pulling it up. Are you taking Simon Sinek's why and put it on steroids in a sense?
So here's my story real quickly. I was a dentist I graduated from USC Dental School in 1988. And the advice that I was given was build a great product and people will come, right? Go out and do the best job you can. People will naturally and mysteriously find out about you, and then they'll come see you. So I spent 20 years doing that, reaching the highest levels you could go to in dentistry, building a beautiful practice, buying all the technology, training a great team. And I still blended in with everybody else who said, yeah, I'm a dentist too. Yeah, I'm a podcast host too. Yeah, I'm a whatever it is too. Drove me crazy. And that's when I heard about that concept of why. I said, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense to me. Everybody knows what they do. Some know how they do what they do, which we mean, what is your proprietary processes that you think make you different? But very few know why they do what they do. And by why, we mean what's your purpose, what's your cause, what's your belief. And this is the golden circle concept that Simon Sinek developed in his book, Start With Why. So when I saw that, I was like, man, that is what I'm missing. I have a great what, but I don't know my why. And so I became obsessed with that. Called Simon Sinek, said, hey, I need you to help me discover my why. This was back in 2009. He and I spent about 8 months together going back through my life, looking for clues. Finally figured out what my why is. My why is to find a better way and then share it. Find a better way and share it. So my life made so much sense to me once I figured that out. I have a lot of patents and products and inventions that are all better ways of doing things. So I took what I learned from Simon and from some of my other mentors, and we stopped talking about what we do, crowns, bridges, fillings, complete gum care, all that fun stuff. And we started talking about why we do what we do, what it is we believe. We believe that life is better when you have great teeth. In fact, you can't have a good life with bad teeth. And as we developed our messaging and marketing and branding, all based on what we believe, that's when my practice really took off. And so I started getting calls from other dentists saying, can you help me do what you did? So I had to figure out a process for doing that. So I went back and figured out what Simon was trying to do, and I made it better. Instead of taking 6 or 8 or 10 months, I could help you discover your why in about an hour. And I did this for thousands of people for free all over the world, on stages, on Skype. I'd pull somebody out of the audience on stage with me, discover their why in front of the audience, and then build their messaging, marketing, branding right there. And I started to notice patterns and trends and similarities. And I figured out there's only 9 different whys. Once I figured that out, that's when things became a lot easier. All of us have all 9 whys, but one of them is more dominant than the rest. And that's the one that becomes your why. So in Steve's case, and so then it's gone, kind of become software. With all the data I got, I was able to create the software. Okay, so
now let me pull up the right screen. Oops, I have it set. No, number 2. Share. I got it here. See, what a great worker right off the cuff here. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so read your simple WHY.os out loud to us.
This part here. Oh. The simplest way to articulate who you are, go ahead and say it. Okay. I believe that success happens when I contribute to a greater cause.
Keep going.
How I do that is by challenging the status quo and thinking differently. Ultimately what I bring is a better way to move forward.
Yeah. So how does that feel to you?
Dr. Gary, it nailed me 100%.
So what that tells us, and everybody listening, this is why you would choose Steve, why you would want to work with Steve. Steve believes that success comes when he helps other people have a bigger impact, because when they have a bigger impact, he feels like he's had a bigger impact. So he uses his time, his money, his energy, his connections to push other people forward. How he does that is by challenging the norms, thinking outside the box, pushing limits, getting people to think bigger than they thought they could. And ultimately, what he brings is a better way for people to move forward. And how does that all feel to you?
It really niches down what I do instead of being broader. People can understand better, and it really qualifies people quickly for me and for them, which is a servant's heart.
So if you're listening and you have a pen and pencil or a piece of paper next to you, if you write down his why is contribute, his how is challenge, Steve's how is challenge, and Steve's what is better way. So you've got contribute, challenge, better way. That's his why, his how, and his what. That is also Steve's decision-making process. If you have an idea that you want to get Steve's buy-in, Steve is a prospect, and you want to help him move forward in a way that you know he's going to love doing that, you better show him how it's going to contribute to other people's success. You better show him how it's different and not like what everybody else is doing. And you better show him how it's better than what he's currently doing, or he's not going to want it. But if you show him, how are you going to feel about that?
I'm going to feel great because it's going to bring the right people to me.
Yep.
And the people that don't fit, which is okay. A servant's heart doesn't work with everybody, but the people that don't fit with me, we're not wasting each other's time. I don't like that phrase, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not going to move forward like you asked me to, or I do.
Why, how, and what also tell you your ideal client. You're looking for someone who's looking to make a bigger impact. You're looking for someone who's looking to think outside the box, challenge the status quo, and you're looking for someone who's looking for a better way. And when you find them or they find you, they're going to love you. You're going to love working with them. And so we learned so much about Steve in an instant. He just did this right before we came on. So I haven't been studying this or thinking about it. Just right before we came on. And what's great about it is, here's one of the real values in utilizing somebody's WHY.os. And that is, most of us have all heard of the golden rule, right? Treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, what if Steve doesn't want to be treated the way that you want to be treated, or you don't want to be treated the way he wants to be treated? It's not going to work. You won't resonate. That's when you use the platinum rule. And the platinum rule is treat others the way they want to be treated. How you do that is by knowing their WHY.os. So I know now how Steve thinks, and I know what's important to him. It's got to have an impact. It's got to be different. It's got to be better. So I'm only going to bring things to Steve that I know he's going to love. Why would I bring him something that I know he's not going to love, not going to want to do? So it helps me to have that servant heart in a way where I know it's going to resonate. I know they're going to love doing it. I know they're going to have passion for doing it. I know they're going to have energy for it. I know they're going to stick to it because it's right in line with their WHY.os.
I love this. And is this available to people for free?
It is not for free.
Okay.
So you can go to whyinstitute.com, WHYinstitute.com. It's only $97.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's minimal.
Nothing.
If you've ever been trying to find your why, and now your why, how, and what, you will love this because it'll give you the clarity. When you know it is when you can say it, just like Steve did. When you know it is when you can say it, and the WHY.os discovery will create your message for you. So you don't even have to figure out how to put it together. It does it all for you. But this is what it really does, Steve. Is it, are you ready to be who you already are? Are you ready to be who you already are? Because what most people do is they're not sure who they are, so they try to be somebody they're not, and it's very tiring and not authentic, right? Imagine Halloween. Put a costume on. It's fun at first. It's exciting at first. By the end of the night, how do you feel?
Yeah, different.
You're like, get this thing off of me.
Yes.
I'm exhausted.
I love it. Yeah, it's
And a
true.
lot of people live their life that way, right?
Yeah.
Me included, me included. So a lot of us, I should say, have lived our life that way because we don't know who we are. So we don't know even how to be ourselves. Once you discover your WHY.os, gives you the okay to be you, gives you the understanding of who you are. And now all you got to do is be you, be the
Yeah.
best version of you. And it's requires the least amount of energy and it's the most fun. And you don't have to change anything.
Yeah, that was fun, that last 5 minutes of learning about myself and listening to hear you say it. Kind of a side thing I'm learning is I can go to my marketing team and go, hey, I've just figured out my why. How much money am I going to save? How much more money? And because money's part of our life,
Yep.
am I going to make with better marketing because of the WHY.os?
Yes. You don't want every client,
Right.
right? Have you ever had a bad client?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And why were they a bad client?
Bad fit.
And they're a bad fit because they don't believe what you believe.
Yeah.
The better able you are to articulate what you believe, the more you will attract those people that believe what you believe. When you say it, it gives people the opportunity to raise their hand and say, yeah, I believe what you believe. I'm in. I want to work with you, Steve. I get it. That's what I believe too.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to say it in order to attract it in your marketing.
Yeah, you got my mind spinning, Dr. Gary. I'm a Dr. Gary. This is awesome. I'm about networking.
Yes.
And when you go to a networking group, you got your, I don't like the name, 30-second pitch or story. Now that I know my why, my story is easier to tell to people in 30 seconds, right?
Because it's real. It's authentic. Look,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'll do your 30-second pitch right now. You're recording this, so you'll have it for later.
Yeah.
But it's really, I believe that success happens when I'm able to contribute to other people's success. That's what I do with my podcast. That's what I do in every aspect of my business. I look for ways to help other people do better because when they do better, I feel better. I feel like I've succeeded. Now, how I go about doing that is by getting you to think differently, getting you to push limits, getting you outside the box that maybe you've put yourself in and thinking small. I help you think bigger. And ultimately, what I deliver is a better way to move forward, where you help others and they help you. That's why I would choose you, right? Now, how would that resonate with your ideal client?
150%, not 100, because
So-
it's really niched.
Yeah. And if all you do is talk about what you do, this is really important for the audience. If you talk about what you do, you blend in with everybody else who does what you do. Hey, I'm a dentist. Instantly, your mind goes to all the other dentists you know, or I haven't been to the dentist in a while, or I hate dentists, or whatever it goes. But you blend in with everybody else who's a dentist. I'm a lawyer. I'm a chiropractor. I'm a whatever it is you do. You blend in with everybody else who does what you do. But when you talk about why you do what you do, now you stand out from everyone who does what you do. And it attracts those people to you that are looking for you, that will value the time that you're going to give them to help them have a bigger impact, think outside their box, and move forward in a better way.
Boy, my head's spinning. Audience, you hope you're taking notes. This is huge. I mean, this is $1 million tips here.
Yep.
And I talk to business owners and mentor them, and you've helped me now because I'm going to get them to take this. They can't figure out their why. They struggle with it. Talk about that.
Well, that was my story too, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
and I'm no different. And I just became obsessed with it. All of us have heard that you need to know your why. You don't need another guru to tell you, you got to find your why, right? We got Simon Sinek, we got Tony Robbins, we got Michael Hyatt. We could go on and on and on, and everybody tells you got to know your why, and you do. But it doesn't do you any good to be told you need to know your why without a way to actually do it. So once you discover it, and in this case, WHY.os, you have available to you. Why? You can discover just your why for $47. Discover your WHY.os because you'll get your why, how, and what, and your message, and a whole lot more. But once you do, then it gives you that clarity, that confidence, that certainty, because you know what it is you bring. I can't tell you how powerful it was for me because, I walked around thinking, do I even have a gift? Do I have it? Do I even have anything special? I know what I do, but I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I was put on the earth. I don't know if this is what I should have been doing with my life. I don't know if this is my passion. I know I'm doing it. I know I have to do it right now because I have to make money and I got to pay my loans back and I got kids and house and all that.
Yeah.
I know that, right? But is this really what I was put on earth to do? And if you're wondering those kinds of questions, think about this for a minute. Why do you do what you do? And sometimes, maybe even more importantly, why don't other people just do things the way you think they should be done? Why do they do them their own way? Why do you have energy for some things and not others? Why are you passionate about some things and not others? Why do you walk into a room and you quickly connect with some people and others you don't connect with at all? Why do you behave the way that you behave? And why do you react the way that you react? And those are some pretty challenging questions. When you know your why and your WHY.os, those become so much easier to answer. It's like when the question is how, the answer is why. I'll give you an example. How do I find my passion? Maybe some of your listeners are thinking, I don't even know what my passion is. I don't know what my direction is.
Yeah.
I don't know what I should be doing with my life. Well, once you discover your WHY.os, and we'll use you as an example here, Steve. If I put you, if what you do is in line with your WHY.os, you will love what you do. Let me say it again. If what you do is in line with your WHY.os, your why, how, and what, you will love what you do. You will have passion for what you do. That's where passion comes from. And passion is the fuel that gives you the energy to pursue your dreams. Without passion, you quit. With passion, you persevere. So let's use you as an example. We know now that your why is to contribute to a greater cause, your how is to challenge the status quo, and your what is to find a better way. So if we put you in a position where you don't get to help people, where you're put in a box and said, stay in this cubicle and do it the way I said, and you don't get to find a better way, maybe that's accounting, how would that feel for you?
I've been there, and it's the loneliest place to be.
Miserable, right?
Yep.
And how long would you have energy for that?
Days, of maybe weeks, because I need the money, but it's the only reason I would do it.
There you go. Now we take you and say, okay, let's put Steve in a place where he gets to help other people, encourage other people, uplift other people, where he gets to get them to think bigger, push their limits, see things they've never seen, where he gets to show them better ways to move forward, where they're going to get great results with their life. Now, how do you feel about it?
My heart's fluttering. It's going crazy.
You would do it for free if you could, right?
Amen. And I have. So it's.
And how much energy would you have for it?
I want to do it more and more. So much energy.
Unlimited.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you're listening and you don't know what you want to do with your life, or you're not sure, or you need to verify that you're on the right path, discover your WHY.os, and then look at what you're doing from the perspective of your why, your how, and your what. And if it's in alignment, stick to it. Do it, man. Go all in. If it's not, you can still do it, but you'll run out of energy. You'll know that you're going to run out of energy, and that's okay. Maybe you have to do that for a little while until you find that thing that's right in line with your why, your how, and your what. And if you're trying to help your kids, or if you're trying to help your significant other, or you're trying to help significant people in your life figure out what to do with their life, figure out who they are, figure out why they're breaking down, figure out how to live the life of passion that they want, have them start with their WHY.os, and it becomes so much easier.
We're coming to the end. I love this. Real quick, what's the thing that separates successful people?
Yeah, it's funny. I was having this call the other day, or a conversation with a buddy a couple of days ago, and he said, the one thing that separates people that are successful from the ones that don't find the success is they're hungry. They're hungry. And that hunger could be because they don't have something, but it's also because they just can't stop doing it. Like, I know you would be hungry for living in line with your WHY.os.
Yeah.
You might have to be hungry for being a bookkeeper or an accountant for a little while until you can do that. But when you have that passion, that hunger, that energy, that enthusiasm, that will to persevere, that'll really come to life when it's in line with your why, your how, and your what.
What a way to end this show. And if you're available, I'd love to bring you back. There's so much more we can dive into this because, audience, he just changed my life right there. Literally changed my life. Real time, real life. You'll see the recording or hear it on the podcast. What's the website again? They can contact you and get this WHY.os system.
Yeah, go to whyinstitute.com, WHYinstitute.com. Just click on Discover Your WHY.os. Just do it. You'll be so glad you did. It's not expensive, but it is invaluable.
And watch this show again or listen to this show. There's a forward and backwards on podcasts, why I love it, because you can go back and listen to what Dr. Gary's talking about and get deeper. And then I'll have his website in the show notes. You can reach out to his team because I'm going to send a lot of people to this website. There's people I talk to every day because that's what I do. I want to contribute to help people. And guess what? This is outside the box. So it's just funny how it all came together.
Let me say one last thing.
Yeah.
One last thing. So you know who I am. My why, like your what, is to find a better way and share it. How I do that is by making things clear and understandable, first for myself and then for others. And ultimately what I bring are simple solutions to help others move forward. So it's got to be better, it's got to be clear, and it's got to be simple, or I don't want it. So if you go take the WHY.os discovery, it's going to be a better, clear, and simple way for you to know your why, how, and what, and bring your message to life so that you can live a life of passion.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you for being on. I'll reach out. We're going to get him back because I know I'm going to get a lot of people asking. I want to thank my sponsor, BrainShare. BrainShare with Joe Sosinski. He's a great coach. He's going to help you with your mindset and do different things with that. Also, don't forget our podcast swag, your hats, t-shirts, and all that. You can get on the site. We'll be on the show notes. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. See y'all.